Jonas Zimmermann, Day 4. I have successfully isolated the substance inside our test tank. But this breakthrough could have the deadliest consequences, and we must now proceed with extreme caution. The experiment chamber has been sealed from the outside. Access is strictly forbidden, restricted to the most senior personnel. I'm convinced this specimen can be developed into our vaccine. It shows great potential, but we are still a long way from achieving our goal. As a doctor with centuries of medical knowledge at my disposal, I must strongly oppose the idea of treating all of our soldiers with this substance. As the man personally responsible for the results, my recommendation is to select a small test group instead. But the scientist's voice is not always heard. Wherever disease strikes, our duty is to save lives. That is the cause I dedicate myself to. The stronger the soldier, the mightier the army, the greater the nation. This is true progress.
April 3rd, 1916. I know you'll find this interesting. We had great trouble convincing General Staff to finance this project, but as ever, you can rely on my powers of persuasion. The lab must be exclusively for the Army's use when all this is over, and not for the civilian population. I'm sorry, but that was the agreement. I can't claim to understand how you'll be using all this equipment, but you know I have total faith in you. With the support we're giving you now, everything should work out well. Let me know if anything goes wrong, or if you need any more help. The equipment will be sent within a couple of hours of my dispatching this note. I wish you all the best. It's simple. We need that vaccine. Your friend, Hans.
April 7th, 1916. Everything is progressing on time, thank you. I know that feeling when everything starts to blur and all you see are images you can't make sense of. I don't envy you. The responsibility day after day must be killing you. You once asked me why I chose to be a doctor and not a military man. Now you have your answer. Sooner or later, all the world's secrets will be buried under the corpses of ordinary soldiers. No, I'm not saying the civilian population should have access to everything we have, but surely to some part of it. That's only natural. This plague in the field is deadly serious, and I am going to stop it. It shouldn't take me more than a few weeks to develop the cure and deliver it to you at the fortress you mentioned last time. I know you need every spare man, and so I shall deliver the antidote myself. Yes, that's right, Hans. Leave everything to me. Funny, isn't it? Years after we left our childhood village, some things never change. All the best, Jonas.
November 1st, 1916, heading somewhere safe. I'm getting away from here. I've had enough of this madness. The nightmare never ends. Barbed wire, endless fields of barbed wire. From the earth, from the sky, voices whispering, searching for someone, whispering a promise of power. I just can't stand this anymore. Who cares about the army? They will never find me now. I'm going to my uncle in Vimy Ridge, and maybe one day we'll look back on all this as just a bad dream. But I'm awake. I'm shivering. I'm terrified. No one will discover my uncle's secret cabin. The voices won't find me there, and neither will this war. Proudly, Private Paul Kurtig.
Interesting. A hunger for flesh. This disease is like nothing else on Earth.
October the 16th, 1916, on some god-forsaken station. They can't say I didn't try. It spread so fast. After an hour, I was the only one left. 1 hour! We came by train, fully equipped. The boys unloaded their gear and started looking for a place to assemble. But those wires that came from the ground, they took some of the men. Others were victims of the plague. What hope is there now? I must...
The enemy is attacking!
Pathological symptoms. The plague spreading even faster than we thought. More infected men. The symptoms don't look the same. This is chaos. Of today. Brave, stupid, and can't survive without an old man's help. Oh yes, I've missed the feel of cold imperial steel.
October 5th, 1916, 2 miles north of Flers-Courcelette. Our orders were simple. Find...
Come on, quick! This way! The barricade won't hold unless we help them! Be careful. This disease is sending some of our boys insane. They're firing at us for no reason and...
Damn fool! Just raw recruits? Seems like they need me more than I need them. These aren't the same as the others. Something much worse is happening here.
Schnell, schnell! Makes me angry.
Deus ex machina. Thank God our engineers are better than our soldiers. I'd better go in there. Not that there'll be much help to me.
Come here! Over here! We need some help!
Who are you? The reinforcements? And I thought I'd been in the army a long time. Listen, this area's already lost. Everybody is either escaped or they're dead.
Oberleutnant Jonas Zimmermann of the 6th Corps, 8th Army. I have an urgent delivery for the Field Marshal.
Well, the officers have all been evacuated to Fort Stern. You should come with us to the field airport. It's close enough. And find yourself a pilot to get you there. We're supposed to rendezvous with our train crew. They'll be passing nearby.
The enemy is attacking!
October the 5th, 1916. We've had to retreat. Something terrible happened. There's not enough of us to handle this. Have to gas the corridors. There's too many of them. We've a few minutes to eat now, but I can't. I have to write something, anything. I'm shaking a bit, but who wouldn't be? We're heading back to the station. Our transport could arrive any time now. Team Oster.
blow this thing away. Stay close, though. The creatures are everywhere.
Let's go!
I'm covering you! I'm covering you!
In the name of God, what's happening here? This disease, it's nothing like the one I was working on.
Don't know what it is, but it spreads bloody fast. Some of them behave like mad animals, and others ambush, take cover!
Eat this! That's it then. We can't move on without masks.
Someone go and find us gas masks! Hurry up! Can't take much more of this!
October 3rd, 1916. I've heard from one of our pilots that the Lost Company is now led by a man called Mengele or something like that. Don't remember the name, but from what the pilot says, they went missing a few days ago. The airman's a good bloke. He's sticking around to send in the right direction. Florian Mechler.
Time to die.
War, plague, and a bunch of idiots. Now where are the masks? Got one.
I will drink you.
That's it now. Dark corridors, men turning into monsters, and I'm out collecting masks. Unbelievable.
September 19th, 1916. Near the hell of Flair Courcelette. Voices in my head. Voices outside. A battle. A great battle. They said, I'm special. They said, I am. And here I am. Doors barricaded. Hiding like a coward. No one can find me here. If I go out there, I'll never come back. Leon Vogel.
Good job. Do I get a scary costume too?
Thanks, old man.
That makes me angry.
You will die!
You scared.
I'm covering you! The enemy is attacking! Watch my back! Stay and fight! Our lads are having a hard time. Put on noise! That's it then, old man. We have to go back to the train now and get all the ammunition the hell away from this mess. You're on your own now.
September 20th, 1916. They made this the testing ground. Want to defeat us from the air. Dropping canisters of some strange sort of oil. Everyone's dug in here at the airport. They made this the testing ground. Want to defeat us from the air. Dropping canisters of some strange sort of oil. Everyone's dug in here at the airport. Max Hahn.
Quickly when they are so sick. And what's causing all this rage? It's like rabies, with elements of typhoid too. It's unbelievable.
Welcome to your death.
This is definitely not from our world. What the hell is happening?
Order number 113487. This package must be delivered immediately to the main post office and then sent to Dr. J. Zimmermann, Danziger Straße, Berlin.
Jonas Zimmermann, Day 6. I advise you all, never underestimate this project. The sooner we succeed, the sooner our army will be equipped for a glorious victory. I've made certain changes to the experiment, and our results are now more stable. A breakthrough is surely imminent.
October the 16th, 1916, on some god-forsaken station. They can't say I didn't try. It spread so fast. After an hour, I was the only one left. 1 hour! We came by train, fully equipped. The boys unloaded their gear and started looking for a place to assemble. But those wires that came from the ground, they took some of the men. Others were victims of the plague. What hope is there now? I'm as good as dead already. The ammo is on the other side of the station. If anyone is reading this, go back. Go back now. Remember, they nearly always stay in one place.
November 11th, 1916. Menge's orders were to say nothing. But this is not a normal situation. Those creatures! God knows how long they've been hiding there. I don't know what they are or where they come from, but I've been damn lucky not to run into them. Thank God I got a new assignment. Me and the boys are thanking our lucky stars. Harold.
January 1898. From within the Great Construction. I'm starting to understand what the kobolds have built here, and it's not quite as complicated as I first imagined. They seem to have run a series of lines along the ground which bring lightning down to Earth. They use this as a light source. On the surface, lightning brings fire and so destroys houses. But here, old Father Roth was right. Satan does live underground and is using the power of nature in ways God never intended. As far as I'm aware, the kobolds seem to be entirely ignorant of the word of God. When I finally meet them, my task will be to spread his word. Arnulf Ziegler, first enlightener of the kobold race.
To waste on you freaks! I thought I was the only survivor in this bloody mess. These godforsaken monsters, whatever they are, captured everything in sight. I need to get one of the planes back from them and fly as far away from this hellhole as I can. Oh, by the way, I'm Peter Volker, at your service.
The name's Zimmerman. I've an urgent delivery for the Field Marshal. Listen, if we capture a plane together, will you get me to Fort Stern?
Well, 2 soldiers are better than 1. Why not, eh? Anywhere's better than here.
My work of 2 months had such potential. 6-day operation gave our army every hope of perfecting the antidote. But they weren't patient enough. The project was closed down after one spectacular failure. But I know this vaccine will work, and my orders now are to deliver the substance personally to Field Marshal Menge and complete the work in the field. This is a terrible disease, and it has to be stopped. High Command seem to have washed their hands of the whole business, but something tells me they're going to regret all they've done to hinder my work. My old hospital in Berlin doesn't seem so bad now after all. Joining the army again so many years after I trained with the best sounds like a bad joke I fell for. Now life is all about discipline, taking orders and saluting my intellectual inferiors, instead of devoting my time to things that are truly important. And yet I confess, I feel strangely positive too. Perhaps, somehow, this was meant to be.
April 12th, 1916. I greatly appreciate your role in all this. Remember when my father took us fishing, Jonas? The ice was thin, and I could hardly swim at the time. Afterwards you told me, everything must die eventually, but not today. Those words are truer than ever now. I won't leave my men dying in there. Bring me the cure personally, if that is your wish. In fact, your expertise in administering the vaccine will be of much value at this end. I am more grateful than ever. Your friend, Hans.
May the 14th, 1916. The first part of the serum has been isolated. A cure for this type of disease is never easy, but we are trying. If anything, the process is proving less complicated than I first feared. I'm aware of your last position, but please give me more information on the layout of the fortress. Also, is it really necessary for you to pull out of there? Surely the British troops won't launch a full-scale attack. They don't have enough healthy men. Jonas.
Dear friend, along with this letter I am sending you some blood and skin samples from soldiers who have died from the disease. And that's not all, my friend. I've accidentally discovered something that may be of even greater interest than the disease itself. 2 days ago, one of my lieutenants, Johann Schöpe, was a fine soldier and a very decent man, brought me an amazing ancient sculpture. It's made with a strange red crystal that the regular troops have named Stones of Fury, or, if you'll forgive the language, lucky bastards. It turns out the men collect these things and have been doing so without anyone from HQ knowing for months. I have to say, Schöpe didn't seem to be quite himself, but he told me that one of our platoons discovered the first artifact while they were digging in the mud, building trenches. The soldiers started to notice that anyone carrying the artifact becomes faster, stronger, more aggressive. They claim they even become bulletproof, which of course, I simply will not believe. But I know for a fact that some soldiers have gone totally mad. Hence the talk of this fury, ripping enemies apart with their bare hands. I have no idea what's giving them such power. But I have many confirmed reports of battles becoming more and more violent. Our boys simply rush straight in and fight, using bayonets, knives, fists even. I shall send you a sketch of the artifact, and some others that I've seen. The whole thing is a mystery to me. I thought you might be the man to figure out exactly what these objects are. Yours truly.
Before long, the sky's gonna get damn crowded. We need to blast those planes to pieces before they take off. track! Stay away from these balloons! Look at the compass, old man! This lovely spot for good! Shit! What is that?
Amazing! An extraordinary species!
Don't sound so impressed! Those bastards are trying to kill us!
It's some sort of war creature!
Hey, give us some cover! Down here! Get those monsters of our banks!
Not again! What chance do we have in this war if an old man has to win all our battles?
Don't sound so impressed! Those bastards are trying to kill us!
It's some sort of war creature! The question is, where are they coming from? Not again! What chance do we have in this war if an old man has to win all our battles? Rather than study them.
They're dead. That's good. Study music instead. Much safer.
I could have found out what they are and how to make use of them.
What are you? Some kind of mad scientist?
I am an officer and an explorer. I seek knowledge for myself and victory for the fatherland.
I get the feeling when I land in the ship, it's gonna be a whole lot deeper with you on board. Now don't waste time flying around here. Why are they shooting at us? What's that gas Zeppelin spray?
Traitors! Damn traitors! I think we know why the plague is spreading so fast now. The question is, who is giving the orders?
Hey! Look at the compass, old man! These balloons are deadly! You know, no offense, but for an old man, you're not bad. Now, I'll take that pilot seat if you don't mind. It's about time I got us to the fortress.
Change seats in midair? And you say I'm mad?
Come on. Old-timers like you should be settled in the back, enjoying the scenery. No, this can't be for real. Spray with bullets. I'll try to get us the hell away from this mess. Bumpy landing!
Personal note, day 1. Last night I had a bad dream. Everyone was dead but me. When I arrived, the air was thick with the smell of sulfur and rotting bodies. Soldiers lay silent in death. All alone, my mind was racing. Stay alive, stay hidden. Remember your orders, deliver the package, don't become another victim of this madness. And above all else, find out what's causing it. My company had been brutally crushed, a whole train full of men lost. A few escaped, but only to delay death. We all knew something was killing our men in the trenches, an unknown virus, erupting into a plague. And I had the cure. Now I had to find the first squad, the lost company, because they would know how it all began.
May 23rd, 1916. My orders arrived quickly, and they were simple enough. Defend the fortress at all costs. The English didn't let up, and Scottish regiments had joined the attack. We were surrounded. Every time we pushed them back, they just kept coming, relentless as the plague. Some joke, hey? What's the latest news on the vaccine? Have you begun phase 2 yet? Your friend, Hans.
June the 4th, 1916. Yes, phase 2 is underway, but it is complicated and patience is the only answer. I'm as frustrated as anyone, but I know we're nearly there. The pressure isn't helpful, though. High Command never let up. They've no idea how complex these things are. How can you work with a gun at your head? I'd appreciate it if you'd pass my sentiments on to the powers that be. Use that silver tongue you're always boasting about. Jonas.
Dear friend, your work is very important to me, and I regret not being on hand to assist you directly in your research. Here's the next set of samples. I'm sure you will find them even more astonishing than those I sent previously. If I may make a specific request, could you please test how the samples react to a high-voltage stimulus? Auto contact with acid or any form of poison. It may sound unlikely, but I'm convinced that soldiers who have the disease also become more and more aggressive. I would go so far as to say they become lost to some uncontrollable rage. They are, of course, of no value to us in this state. Some seem to lose their orientation entirely and attack everyone in sight. As such, we must find a way to treat them, or even, I'm sorry to say, a method of killing them. I know that sounds cruel, but as these men are beginning to pose as much of a threat to us as the enemy, there really is no alternative. Best wishes, Field Marshal H. Menge.
Hey, are you still breathing, soldier? Hold on, I'll get you out of there. Anyone with you? Damn, not anymore. I can't help your buddy.
Scheiße, my leg. And we almost made it. This creature came flying at us.
Well, your friend wasn't so lucky. But glad you made it. By the look of your plane, seems your guardian angel had a busy night. There's a house close by. I'll get you there. Take a look at your wounds.
Wait! You're a damn Englishman!
No, Fritz. I'm a damn American. Lieutenant George Patton's the name. Don't be so choosy about who's saving your life, soldier.
I don't thank my enemies.
Thanks are for barmaids and bellboys, so save your breath. Point is, our little war's become irrelevant. Now move! They'll come at us as soon as it's dark. Get up! Get up! They're here! They're all over us! Door's blocked, okay? There's a gun on the table. Use it! I'll take care of the rest. You won't take us alive, you ugly bastards! You want more? Yeah, I'll give you more!
27 miles from Gilmont. I don't know why, but this landscape reminds me of home. Sometimes I can even see the hills and green grass stretching out in front of me. Then, suddenly, a flashlight blazes in front of my eyes, and I remember where I am. In the middle of a war, with nothing around me but gunfire. Fabian.
Up the hill, there's a monastery. The rest of my tanks are there. My sweet little tank. Ah, that little...
I doubt it.
Let's move.
"28 miles from Guillemont and 16 miles from Flers-Cousselet. A place of rest for men, a sanctuary. He came with his strange oil. He poisoned everything. The nurses used to feel privileged working here, saving lives in a holy place. Now they just feel tainted. We all do. This has become a place of sin. Fabienne Osler.
October the 11th, 1916. A long way from Guillemont. They keep coming. Never stop. Everything around them they destroy. Endless killing. Soldiers disappearing. Just a few weeks ago this place was almost peaceful. And now, they come. They look around. And who are they? A pilot turned up. A German. Around here, he said. And he noticed something strange going on. The pilots don't seem to fly above a certain height, as if something in the air won't let them. David Smith.
Move on up. I'll guard this entrance. Lock the other end, then get yourself back here.
I don't take orders from you, Lieutenant. But I happen to agree with your plan.
I'm honored. Now move it!
Damn! I'm on my own now.
Put your gun down. I'm not gonna hurt you. We're all that's left of our regiment. We tried to break into the monastery. They've got some French tanks there, see? About the only things that'll damage these bloody monsters, whatever they are.
The monastery? That's where I'm going.
Oh, are ya? Some chance. The cavern's the only way through, and that's full of creatures like you've never seen. Horrific. They'll tear you to pieces. And plenty more of these bug-eyed freaks before you even get there. You've not got a hope in hell.
You can rot here forever if you like. I'm going on.
You're bloody mad, you know that?
I have a mission and my duty. Is that a British concept?
I'll show you what a Scotsman can do, pal. Yeah. And I'll get even with those flesh-dripping bastards while I'm at it. We'll help clear your way to the cavern. But if you want to go inside, be those monsters' dinner, that's your lookout.
Like I said, you're on your own now, Jerry. Good luck in there. You're going to need it.
As the air claims mankind, so I possess you. We hold them at bay, buried in the deep, seething, unaware of our true form, oblivious of your debt, of your doom. You keep us hidden in the darkness, waiting. Yet the truth is that we and they are real. Prove yourself to us, and we will give you power. Power. Power.
What are you?
No!
I feel cold. It did something to me. Have I caught the disease?
No, this is no disease. This is the turning of the tide. We feel the seed of change you carry with you. You are not like the others. Show me you are worthy. Show me.
When they hit me, I felt no pain.
Hey, Granddad! I thought you were dead.
I could say the same about you, Lieutenant. How did you make it through?
Takes more than a bunch of meat-faced loons and a few flames to stop one of the tank corps, even without my beautiful Renault.
So, what now?
You wanted to get to Fort Stern, am I right?
If I can get there, I may be able to bring this horror to an end.
Well, I'll drink to that, pal. It's a long way, but if we can get my tank rolling, I'll get you there in one piece.
Oh, American technology has let you down, Lieutenant?
My little baby's French, and she's lost her heartbeat. You'd call that a carburetor. We can fix her up, but it means taking our chances in the monastery.
I've never been there, but I have a bad feeling about this monastery.
And so you should. It's being used as a lazaret. Quarantine, you know? But it's one hospital where you wouldn't want the nurses looking after you.
Why not?
We stopped there last night to repair the carburetor. It was late, looked abandoned. Collins took the gear inside to get some light, and we never saw him or the carburetor again. Instead, we had to fight off these damn crazy nurses, more like animals. Looked like they got rabies or something. Anyway, Oh, I think we have company. Let's go! Get inside the main chapel and try to unlock the side door to the monastery. Walker locked it with a key, but some butcher-like fat bastard cut him in half with a meat cleaver. And God knows where he is now. So watch your back. I'll stay here and cover you from all the freaks coming this way. And don't mess around with the sisters if you meet any. They're faster than the rotten bastards we've seen so far. And not much prettier.
Wanna play doctors and nurses? Here, good boy now, and come to me!
The same behavior, but their flesh doesn't seem to be rotting. They must be getting closer to the filth of disease.
Ready for your...
soldier.
Let's head for the monastery. I had crossed the first line. This battlefield will soon be a distant memory, I told myself, to keep my spirits high. But only a blind man cannot see the truth. Something they didn't want to speak of, something hidden in the shadows, had shown itself in the sunlight of war. In broad daylight, its finger pointing at me. What chance did I have of putting this right, delivering the vaccine, making it work? I used to be a scientist. Now I'm just a long-forgotten shadow of that man, blinded by the horror, by my own ambitions. Something terrifying is breathing down your neck. Do you run or turn to face it? An army man knows his place. He obeys orders. He salutes and marches proudly into dangers a normal man would never face. But this was different. Without men who are healthy, without men who are alive, you cannot win a war. You won't find that on the recruiting posters. I wonder why.
January 1898, from deep underground. The mine was virtually empty, only a handful of men still at work. Then, the next day, it was closed down, abandoned and boarded up. And it was that very night that I awoke and saw the lights, and I followed. They led me to the mine, to the second entrance, this safety tunnel they'd built all those years ago. I climbed in and followed these strange lights deeper and deeper underground. I knew very well the risk I was taking, but since my Helga died, who would sit waiting and worrying? The further I descended, the more of those lights I saw, floating in the air. I know the men from Freiburg have always been terrified of such things. They call them kobolds, mischievous sprites, and those who follow the lights never come back. When I reached the center, I was overwhelmed by what I saw. It was clear that here existed a race of people living by their own rules, and the quality of their engineering. How have they managed to construct such things? As I write, I have yet to encounter any of these people. When I was on the bridge earlier, I thought I heard something move behind me, but when I turned round, there was nothing there. I ate my last piece of bread yesterday. Water is also hard to find, but I've managed to drink a little from the rocks. That will have to do for now. I suspect no one knows I'm here, but my intuition tells me that soon enough I will encounter someone. Or something. I will write more tomorrow. Arnulf Ziegler, first explorer of the Kobold world.
October the 5th, 1916. We've had to retreat. Something terrible happened. There's not enough of us to handle this. Had to gas the corridors. There's too many of them. We've a few minutes to eat now, but I can't. I have to write something, anything. I'm shaking a bit, but who wouldn't be? We're heading back to the station. Our transport could arrive any time now. Tim Oster. October the 1st, 1916. We found something. Not sure what it is exactly, but it looks like some kind of vehicle. Those Germans and their technology, I'm telling you. Michael's in there trying to get it to work while I'm out here on the lookout. Seems there's some kind of problem with the controls, but hopefully they'll figure it out soon. Then we can use it to escape the Germans outside. That thing had to get in here somehow, right? There must be a system of underground tunnels nearby. We've just got to find where it is. Private Johnston.
I will drink your blood.
Good work, old man. Let's search for the carburetor. It should be somewhere here. This is where we lost Collins.
Understood, Lieutenant.
What the hell? Run, old man! Run!
There is nowhere to run, idiot!
Hang on! I'll try to distract him with grenades! You may want to do the same! That's just an idiot's opinion! That was close. Never seen anything like that before.
Really? Then I suggest we move on, or you'll be saying the same thing again.
I thought we'd had it that time. Thank God we made it.
It seems God has little interest in this place.
You're a deep one, Zimmerman. But you can fight. I'll give you that.
I'll look for the carburetor. You check if your tank is still there.
Yes, sir. You found it? Hey, your eyesight's pretty good for an old trooper.
You see, Lieutenant Patton? It took a German to actually get something done.
Oh, yeah. Your boys have done plenty around here, and not all of it good. I've promised to take you to Fort Stern. Get in before I change my mind.
Want to hear an old joke? How do you make God laugh? You tell him your plans. That's what people around me were always doing. Joking, laughing, thinking they were on some glorious, never-ending journey into the sky. But not me. I want something more. Much more. Funny, isn't it? And painful. You live, you die. All for nothing. All of your sins, all your dirty deeds, everything seems so small when death dances before your eyes and spawns a creature so powerful and unwanted, the devil himself would need to think again. Plans are good. They kill time. Long after, they'll show you who you were. But don't think you'll get them accomplished. No, I wouldn't plan on that.
June 12th, 1916. The answer to your skillfully unasked question is no. I can't do everything. Walk on water, fight back with limited manpower, instantly cure the plague. This fortress is all we have right now. And I'm afraid it won't last much longer, with half of every single regiment struck down by this hellish disease. We are sacrificing so much. Everyone is doing their duty. But I don't think we can hold out for long. There was a massive attack from the south last night. General Staff can give you all the details. But now I know what our strategy must be. Break through the lighter British defenses and attack their encampments from the rear. It may prove impossible. But I'm not a novice. I know my job better than those pen pushers in Berlin. Striking out is our best form of defense. But they don't understand that it cannot be achieved in a single night. Hans.
July the 21st, 1916. That's precisely what I told them the last time they pressed me for news on the vaccine. Hopefully new supplies will reach you by rail before long. I know the odds are stacked against you there, Hans, and that you are losing too many of your best men. But the price of war must be paid. Everyone has to die someday. Above all, I regret that holding that fortress seems to be more about politics than warfare. Simply digging in and fending off the enemy, it's so unspectacular, and we both know you were born for better things. Jonas.
September 20th, 1916. They made this the testing ground, want to defeat us from the air. Dropping canisters of some strange sort of oil. Everyone's dug in here, at the airport. Max Hahn.
Can't say you're a bad driver. What did you learn?
That's none of your business.
You're a good soldier, but one hell of a miserable man.
I've never much cared what the common herd think of me.
Hell, we'd both be thrown out of charm school. But I'm happy to have you along, Jonas. Need every pair of hands I can get.
I'm not here to help you. I just need to get to the fortress as soon as possible for all our sakes. With Field Marshal Menge, I can finalize the vaccine, stop this disease from spreading.
So, you're a doctor, huh?
I'm a scientist. I know how complex the tools of warfare can be. And what people can do in a victory.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you saying somebody's spreading this plague deliberately?
I already have proof. Now I need to find a way to stop it. Perhaps even turn it against its creator.
Damn. You realize what you're saying? You're just as crazy as the madman who started all this.
I'm saying I'll do whatever it takes for my people to win this war. This truce between us ends only much faster.
It's a deal. You know, I almost forgot we could be fighting against each other someday soon. Don't you think that's sad?
In war, there is no place for emotion. However, I do admit, you are a good soldier.
Hey, if I spot you on the battlefield, you want me to miss?
Fortunately for you, I won't be joining the regular troops. I did my time in the past. I was a soldier before you were even born, boy.
Uh-huh. Were those ancient Greeks as deadly as they say?
November 2nd, 1916. Paul told me about the voices, let me in on his plan. I thought he was going mad. Brain damage, shell shock. He was a strange kid even before all this. But then, I started to hear the whispers too. Last night, the voices wouldn't stop. And now I'm awake. It's all so clear to me. I can't take it easy. You'll never find me.
necessary factor in victory.
Flesh everywhere I look.
Halt an oder stirb! Halt an oder stirb! Enemy! Cover me!
I'm covering you! Taste steel! The enemy is attacking!
Going on foot will make things even harder for us.
Eat bullets.
I can repair this little sweetheart, so cover my back!
I'll do my best! Just be quick, will you?
November 1st, 1916, heading somewhere safe. I'm getting away from here. I've had enough of this madness. Their nightmare never ends. Barbed wire, endless fields of barbed wire. From the earth, from the sky, voices whispering, searching for someone, whispering a promise of power. I just can't stand this anymore.
If I can stop this damn thing turning, then I'll be through to the fortress.
Don't know how you'll survive without me, Lieutenant. Okay, let's shut this piece of junk down. It's time for me to turn back. Don't plan on bumping into your German pals. At least not right now. Hope you find what you're looking for, Zimmerman. I wish you luck.
Indeed. This joint operation is over. I'm sorry to say, we're enemies again now. You have my sincere thanks.
Like I say to my boys, always do more than is required of you. And remember, a pint of sweat will save a gallon of blood. Now move it, soldier!
Yes, sir. The root of all evil is a small wooden house. Each of them hides a secret. There is a deserter, but only the neighbors know. A mother whose sleek, stockinged legs are all that keep her alive. And a son whose sad mind is a blur. These modern theories are too much for him. His life's first taste of defeat. But then, one cold winter's night, walking home through the woods, the lonely boy simply stopped. He breathed in the chill of the night and walked on. He remembered the path, rock by rock, tree by tree, turn by turn. That night, something went home, never to return. And young Jonas went with it, hand in hand. Soon, theories became friends, and friends theories. Family, soldiers, orders, breakfast, all theories. To scream is to function. Fear is a natural thing. Where the world sees only pain and blood, another may see opportunity. A scream, even if drawn by the most horrifying plague, is merely a biological reaction. Isn't it?
August 24th, 1916. I'm so relieved we have a date for your arrival. You must hurry now. Our superiors will not accept failure. As the days pass here, I feel more and more alone. Our spies report that British regiments have crossed the river and are heading straight for us. I can see absolutely no reason why anyone should be so interested in this pile of old ruins, built in a hurry and abandoned after the first airstrikes. I know you have spoken to High Command. Believe me, if this was about defending gas supplies or munitions, I'd be the first to throw down my life for the place. Hans.
August the 26th, 1916. The first supplies of the vaccine should arrive tomorrow, and rest assured, I will be right there with them to make sure things go as smoothly as planned. Reports from the field leave no room for doubt. We must deliver the cure to your current location immediately. Jonas. Dear Sir, sadly I have nothing to report. I have tested the samples as requested and found nothing of particular value to us. When treated with acid, the skin simply melts, and high voltage fries it, as would be the case with normal healthy skin. Simply put, I'd conclude that people who are infected can be killed just as easily as those who are not. As yet, I cannot advise you on a treatment, let alone provide you with a vaccine. It's possible that the psychological changes you mentioned are the result of prolonged periods of pain being suffered by those infected. Alternatively, the brain itself is potentially infected in these particular cases. I need to undertake further research before I can be certain either way, and for this I must request a new batch of samples. As to the situation at the front, I quite agree, sir. Good cognac wins wars. Jonas.
Jetzt gibt's keine Pause!
Am I too late? Had the creatures already overrun Fort Stern? I didn't come this far to turn back now. Unbelievable! This whole mess never ceases to amaze me.
November 13th, 1916, 22 miles northeast of the Somme. I used to look up to him like a brother. We all did. Always looking out for us, always in control. But the army let him down, too full of weaklings. Men from the gutter, pathetic excuses for human beings. We knew he deserved better. That's why so many of us followed him here. Not because he promised us power, but because we believed in him so much. And then he betrayed us. Locked us down there where those mutilated men could get at us. Sprayed us with that oil. I'll never forgive what he's done, or forget what he's become. I want our voices heard. When I get back home, I write to everyone who's willing to listen. Germany has done nothing to deserve Field Marshal Menge. Georg Späth.
Come to mama. Don't be afraid. My poor wounded soldier.
Anesthetic.
Time for your injection.
November 11th, 1916. Menge's orders were to say nothing. But this is not a normal situation. Those creatures! God knows how long they've been hiding there. I don't know what they are or where they come from, but I've been run into them. Thank God I've got a new assignment.
this HMG. If we can survive a little longer, Jürgen will unlock the door from inside.
Jonas Zimmermann. It's so good to see you, my friend. It's been a long time.
You've been rather hard to reach lately. But nothing is impossible, as we used to say in the good old days.
Ah, yes, our glorious youth. And doesn't all this excitement remind you of Morocco all those years ago?
We're not children anymore, Hans. We have more honorable business here than shooting unarmed Africans.
You still can't get over Morocco, can you?
I'll never forget it. But come, we have work to do now.
Of course, work. You have brought me the vaccine, haven't you?
Yes, I have it here. It was quite a struggle.
Give it to me. I've waited for so long. This is the last thing missing.
Missing? From what?
You've played your part, my friend. Your role is over now.
What are you talking about? I need to administer the cure. It's a scientific procedure.
It's a substance you've developed for me. You know nothing of what's to follow. Give it to me now.
Slow down. What are you saying? What have you tricked me into this time?
I'll spare you the unnecessary details. We need this vaccine to control the plague.
To control? Don't you mean to cure?
These are just words. You always were so small-minded, Jonas.
It was you, wasn't it? You set this up from the beginning. You're the one who spread the virus, and you needed me to invent a way of controlling it. You're the cause of all this.
Don't be pathetic, Jonas. You can't even imagine what's going on here. I have made a pact. A deeper pact than men like you could ever understand. If I don't fulfill it, then we are all doomed.
I don't need to hear about your treachery or who you sold your soul to. Your new pact is with me. Take me to the lab, let me finalize the vaccine, and then I'll tell your court-martial that you're just a mad old fool and not a filthy traitor!
You really don't understand, do you? There never was a choice, either for me or for you. Why do you think you've survived for so long in amongst all this carnage? Now give me the vaccine and walk away.
Stay where you are, Menge.
Listen to me, Jonas.
No, the time for diplomacy has passed. Last chance.
Last chance? You had one, but you've just lost it.
See you in hell, my old friend.
Exactly. And sooner than you think.
Killing him wasn't so hard. After all, I'm a soldier. German soldier. In war, there can be no mistakes. Orders? They simply dry out, like an empty well. So old that no one visits anymore. Not a soul. A well. Young boys gather around and throw in rocks, watching them drop deep into the dark. Seconds pass. No sound at all. Silence. And when it finally comes, the boys run, screaming, shocked by the depth and power of their well. It's mystery, it's danger. To kill a man, all you need is a rock. The well is all around, and darkness will find you on her own.
October the 11th, 1916. A long way from Guillemont. They keep coming. Never stop. Everything around them they destroy. Endless killing. Soldiers disappearing. Just a few weeks ago this place was almost peaceful. And now, they come, they look around, and then the killing starts. Who are they? What's this all about? A pilot turned up. A German. Strange bloke, but pretty friendly. He was operating around the airport, he said, and he noticed something strange going on with the planes. The pilots don't seem to fly above a certain height, as if something in the air won't let them. Nothing makes sense anymore. David Smith.
October the 1st, 1916. We found something. Not sure what it is exactly, but it looks like some kind of vehicle. Those Germans and their technology, I'm telling you. Michael's in there trying to get it to work while I'm out here on the lookout. Seems there's some kind of problem with the controls, but hopefully they'll figure it out soon. Then we can use it to escape the Germans outside. That thing had to get in here somehow, right? There must be a system of underground tunnels nearby. We've just got to find where it is. Private Johnston.
September 19th, 1916. Near the hell of Flair Courcelette. Voices in my head. Voices outside. A battle. A great battle. They said I'm special. They said I have potential. And here I am. Doors barricaded. Hiding like a coward. No one can find me here. If I go out there, I'll never come back. Leon Vogel.
Thanks for getting that bastard off our backs. He'd gone insane, shouting abuse at us the whole time. He started ignoring direct orders from Berlin. They wanted us to abandon this worthless fortress, and he claimed we had to defend it to the last. Thanks to him, this dunghole was almost our graveyard.
Will you just shut up and take me to the lab? I need to prepare the cure before it's too late.
August the 22nd, 1916. Where no one can find me, I hope. They're out there. I can sense them. Just behind those walls.
Hey, old man, let's find some explosives and blow this wall away. We should split up. You take the door on the left. There must be some mechanism to unlock this huge bloody gate and get us into the lab. Menge believed in magic forces from under the ground. It's a way to survive the real plague he was about to unleash. All his scientists died working on his godforsaken compounds. Flesh! I need
September 29th, 1916, Fortress. The Germans are on the attack. They want this place back. No time for playing cards anymore. Down the way, there's a series of corridors. When you walk past, you can hear all sorts of strange noises. None of us ever dare go near. Never. Can't even imagine what's going on in there. We've piled rocks against the entrance, but the Germans aren't far off now, and their firepower is much stronger than ours. Gabriel Oaks.
October the 1st, 1916. We found something. Not sure what it is exactly, but it looks like some kind of vehicle. There must be a system of underground tunnels nearby. We've just got to find where it is. Private Johnston. The 1st, 1916. We found something. Not sure what it is exactly, but it looks like some kind of vehicle. Those Germans and their technology, I'm telling you. Michael's in there trying to get it to work while I'm out here on the lookout. Seems there's some kind of problem with the controls, but hopefully they'll figure it out soon. Then we can use it to escape the Germans outside. That thing had to get in here somehow, right? There must be a system of underground tunnels nearby. We've just got to find where it is. Private Johnston.
By killing Menge, you ruined our plans, but not entirely. With your abilities, you could be more useful to us than he ever was. A dark soul such as yours is not to be wasted.
Just kill me and go to hell.
No, you go to hell, but not in the way that you imagine. Deep below us lies an item, its value beyond compare. We need it to restore the power of our great race, which once shone like a mighty sun. You will bring it to us.
Me? Why me?
You have found us. Perhaps this was destiny. You will repay us for the death of that pitiful Menge. And we shall enjoy seeing whether you are capable of defeating the Golem and bringing his treasured artifact to us. With that, we can break into hell and finally stop the true enemy.
And what if I refuse?
You have no choice. It has...
well is all around, and darkness will find you on her own. And when she finally does, you'll be lying face down in cold, filthy mud, begging for life, your face barely recognizable, altered by fear and darkness itself. Only those who are strong enough to admit the need to change can survive. Creatures so unexpected, events so different from any war known to mankind. But I am alive, going down, deep down, watching every step just to see where the light is. Not looking out for enemies, they're already gone, as if they were never here. I am a man fighting for himself now, working to forge a reputation, to create a new definition of fear, to scare them all to death by offering living proof of what man can do when he is not afraid.
September 29th, 1916, Fortress. The Germans are on the attack. They want this place back. No time for playing cards anymore. Down the way, there's a series of corridors. When you walk past, you can hear all sorts of strange noises like animals roaring. None of us ever dare go near. Never. Can't even imagine what's going on in there. We've piled rocks against the entrance, but the Germans aren't far off now, and their firepower is much stronger than ours. Only God can help us now. Gabriel Oates.
January 1898, from within the Great Construction. I'm starting to understand what the kobolds have built here, and it's not quite as complicated as I first imagined. They seem to have run a series of lines along the ground which bring lightning down to Earth. They use this as a light source. On the surface, lightning brings fire and so destroys houses. But here, old Father Roth was right. Satan does live underground, and is using the power of nature in ways God never intended. As far as I'm aware, the kobolds seem to be entirely ignorant of the word of God. When I finally meet them, my task will be to spread his word. Arnulf Ziegler, first enlightener of the kobold race.
October the 5th, 1916. We've had to retreat. Something terrible happened. There's not enough of us to handle this. Had to gas the corridors. There's too many of them. We've a few minutes to eat now, but I can't. I have to write something, anything. I'm shaking a bit, but who wouldn't be? We're heading back to the station. Our transport could arrive any time now. Tim Oster.
But I'm not one of you anymore.
God damn you then, old man! Either help us or get lost! Change!
I've never seen you before, but I feel as if we are one. What's happening?
The change. Power is gathering. The soul escapes. Move.
Something is changing inside me. We have to follow them? What am I doing here? Something is changing inside me. Do I really have to follow them? What am I doing here? Since they've changed me into one of their kind, so am I. What could be worse?
January 1898, from within the Great Construction. I'm starting to understand what the kobolds have built here, and it's not quite as complicated as I first imagined. The lightning brings fire, and so destroys houses. But here, oh Father, it's right. Satan does live underground, and it's using the power of nature in ways God never intended. As far as I'm aware, the kobolds seem to be entirely ignorant of the wood God. When I finally meet them, my task will be to spread his word. Arnulf Ziegler, first enlightener of the Kobold race.
defeat you, but yourself.
What?
The second you come and see.
January 1898, from deep underground. The mine was virtually empty. Only a handful of men still at work. The next day, it was closed down, abandoned, and boarded up. And it was that very night that I awoke and saw the lights, and I followed. They led me to the mine, this entrance. This safety tunnel they built all those years ago. I climbed in and followed the strange lights deeper and deeper underground. I knew very well the risk I was taking, but since my anger won't sit waiting and worrying. Before I descended, and more of those lights I saw floating in the air. I know the men from Freiburg have always been terrified of such things. They call them kobolds, mischievous sprites, and those who follow the lights never come back. When I reached the center, I was overwhelmed by what I saw. It was clear that here existed a race of people living by their own rules. The quality of their engineering, how they managed to construct such things. As I write, I have yet to encounter any of these people. When I was on the bridge earlier, I heard something move behind me, but when I turned around, there was nothing there. I ate my last pizza yesterday. Water is also hard to find, but I've managed to drink a little from the rocks. That will have to do for now. I suspect because I'm here, but my intuition tells me that soon enough I will encounter someone or something. I will write more tomorrow. Untitled Chapter, first explorer of the Kobold world. January 1898, after a great dream. When I awoke, everything suddenly seemed much clearer. God does indeed have a plan for me. I must redeem these poor souls from... My dream was about the sun. At some point in the past, the Kobold people chose to disobey God's rules. And for their sins, he banished them down here. Now, they place the symbol of the sun on their walls and remind themselves of their past. It's all so very sad. It seems is not full of fire, as old Roth told us. It's made up of caves, filled with sadness and anger. And of course, make them understand. Untitled Chapter, first and last savior of the Kobold race.
If I kill him, will I die?
The chains of humanity.
Yes, die and set me free! Go away and let my mind be pure! I feel so good. So clear, so purified, so untouched. My soul has departed. Nothing can stop me. Now they'll pay the price. I'll make them suffer. I'll rule them for eternity. Now, only one task remains. Where is this cursed golem? The journey to this story's last chapter was inevitable. Fueled by the passion to make a change, to free my demons, I give the same dream to all who come after me. They'll want to destroy me, to make me pay for what I have done. But it's not that easy, not now. Now I am the ruler. Horrible mutilation of mankind, underground race fighting their conquerors, strange creatures caught in the middle. All are long gone. Only I can see it clearly. In the land of man, there can be only one master.
September 19th, 1916. Near the hell of Flair-Courcelette.
At last, the artifact is mine. Its power courses through me. I feel it commanding me. And now that I know what to do, I will not hesitate. Only I know how to use this power. The demons are winning this war, and not a single human or vampire can survive without me. I must create a new army, an army of the undead. Warriors without doubts, without mercy, without fear. There can be only one ruler of the darkness. Now is my time!